Go. All right. Welcome back. I'm your gamer host. Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. That's really bad every time I say that. But we've got a loadout race today. We've got Commando, and it's not a garbage one for once. This is actually my favorite Commando loadout. Yes, I know there is phase round in there. I just like all the AoE options. I like the range from the phase round. I feel like it just gives you a lot to work with. Yes, the DPS might not be the best, but it's nice, okay? And when there's 50,000 enemies all lined up and you're in Copeland, like Commando usually ends up like, you've got a way out. Is this the first Slide Mando? I think we've seen Slide Mando like 4 other times. It just feels like it hasn't happened much because there's been Roll Commando maybe 8 or 9 times, I swear to God. It has happened way too much. Commando, believe it or not, was rolled the most out of any survivor throughout this league, and it's by pure randomness, I should add. But let me go ahead and just introduce some of the racers here right now. Only one person down in the bottom right is using the Skin Tuner mod right now, I think. This was, again, shortly recorded after the release of the Devotion update, so some of the racers don't have Skin Tuner currently downloaded, as there was a new mod pack that didn't have that. Later on, I said it was all good to go, but people are lazy. I'm lazy. I don't post enough updates on telling racers what they can or can't do, and yeah, that's why we don't have some of the skins. But Jodo has one. Jodo in the bottom right has a sticky bomb. Nothing else in that. His favorite survivor to play is Commando, as a matter of fact. He's been doing some of a decent amount of practice with it. Has a Mocha as well there. We'll check back up on him. We got 3 other racers. We got Blubbly down in the bottom left. Is essentially already eliminated from playoff, or not playoff contention, but from being able to enter the tournament. Will we call that the playoffs? I don't really think they are. It's just a tournament. But has at least one more chance here today to be able to put on some points, put on a good show, put on some good loadouts, show what they're capable of. Yo, Limu, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it. Up in the top left, we've got Waterholic. Waterholic, who I wanted to say was going to be fighting for the number 8th seed, and in this moment, at this point in time, didn't really know that it was completely locked out, as, oh, Jodo gets a Plasma Shrimp. Okay, hello. As Waterholic, though, already activating the TP, has Beetle Queen to deal with. Does have phase round and grenades, so has options of being able to take down these Beetle Guards, but needs to kill this Beetle Queen quickly. Right? The Queen's level 2, he's level 3, so not really much of a disparity between XP levels. Can maybe afford to get hit by a Beetle Guard 3 times before death, and a Golem spawns in. Uh-oh. That's kind of terrifying. Yep, that could be this could be a stage 1 death. Very easily can be. Waterholic only getting about 2 health per second, or 1 health every 2 seconds, my bad. Finds a mending beetle, but can't get too distracted on it, or may end up dying. Okay, there we go. Gets the 40 health, has an extra hit, and there's a healing drone. Okay, I don't remember there being a healing drone. Maybe it was like on the other half of the map. It finally shows up, though. Okay, Waterholic with another chance at life now. The Beetle Guard's all vented up to get to the top there, now stuck up. How are the other racers doing, though? Jodovic done with the Beetle Queen. In the bottom right. Again, Jodo, whose favorite racer or survivor to race is Commando. Jodo, the only one to have gotten the Plasma Shrimp so far. Has some other damage items in the form of a Focus Crystal, in the form of a Sticky Bomb, has some movement speed as well, has a really good loadout, and only at the 4-minute mark is already finishing off the TP with 7 items. Waterholic managed not to die, at least not yet. All the Beetle Guards are going to come down now that the Beetle Queen is dead. And a large healing chest opted to be picked up by AKDRER, interesting choice, gets a Lepton Daisy, which I guess could come in handy when you don't have a healing drone. Right? But again, not having that healing drone, could have a lot less aggression, or a lot more aggression, a lot more focus on him. Has to take care of this mending beetle for any damage will really be dealt to this Beetle Queen as a whole. Oh god, there's like 3 of them. And that's annoying. And oh god. Uh-oh. Waterholic, who thought he had gotten out of the stage 1 TP alive, was at 80% charge, but takes a death. Gets hit by one Sunder too many. And now, with a 5-minute penalty, the favorite to win this race overall, I was telling chat earlier, I said that I'd give Waterholic about a 70% chance to take this race overall. Suddenly, I'm not feeling so much that. Right? Has a death. Johto doesn't, though, and Johto's already done with the TP. He's already going to be leaving the stage, right? He's already looted up, has 8 items in about 6 minutes. Johto's looking good. AKDRER, meanwhile, has activated the TP, but is at like 35 hit points. It's a little bit of lag kicks in here. Yeah, almost dead. Taking little hits here and there. It's going to try and heal up with that mending beetle death and gets that. Is that a beetle or is that a wisp? I'm not sure. Gets some mending though. And is trying to snipe the Beetle Queen with grenades. It's actually doing successfully. But I mean, this strategy that AKDRER's going for is going to take him all the way up to roughly the 12, 13, 14 minute mark and is still getting sniped. Blubbly, meanwhile, is just playing aggressive, getting into it, has more damage dealt to the Beetle Queen. If Blubbly is to get any race or any wins, any points on the leaderboard, right, has yet to be able to finish a run overall. Is the last one to be in such a situation, but here today is the perfect opportunity as AKDRER is struggling, as Waterholic has a death. This is Blubbly's time to shine. And finishes off the TP, is going to get whatever the item is. It is a boss item, right? Gets a Beetle Guard. Nice. Waterholic, meanwhile, trying to make up for that death by trying to get a quick pot roll in. Only has this one pot to work with, and his friendly Beetle Guard might not be so friendly if it accidentally sunders it. Come on here. You can do it, Water. Beetle's getting close. This one's so frustrating. And while I'm distracted looking at a pot roll, as the pot gets destroyed by a wisp, AKDRER takes death number 1 up on top of the rock. Was able to finish off the Beetle Queen, but at a cost. And now getting surrounded by Lemurians and by Golem hits. Oh, not looking good. Johto's already on TP. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. This Clay Dune Strider, and already has the Clay Dune Strider half dead. Right, is working with the movement speed. This isn't roll Commando. This is slide Mando. Johto able to be able to actually maneuver around these enemy shots. Right, slide just gives you really, really good horizontal movement if you gotta go left or right really quick and still just get out of danger. Still able to shoot while you're sliding. The slide Mander. So we got the Slander, and then we got the Rander, then. Rander sounds kind of mean. But Slander is straight up just, well... that's straight up mean as well. There we go. Gets a Feather. Feather is a stage 2 item. Really big, really huge. And Johto is actually in trouble, though. Getting a little bit of health from the healing drone, having to run behind a rock to deal with these wisps. Don't want to get hit by a Beetle Guard Sunder, but also in trouble still is AKDRER, down to 34 health, will die in 1 or 2 hits. Still, no, that's a death. Death number 2 for AKDRER. Yikes. That's a vase on Waterholic over by the towards spawn, actually. Is it towards spawn? I think so. There was an equipment barrel, and the equipment barrel gave vase. So all these racers are going to have a vase, they're going to have a feather, they're going to have plasma shrimp. AKDRER will get plasma shrimp once he finds it. AKDRER, the only one not to have had plasma shrimp during the TP event. Actually, I take that back. Water didn't either. Didn't have a drone, and we have a full screen Frozen. Apparently Mayan got a new laptop, or a new computer, like a gaming PC, and is actually able to record off that as well now. So if we have Mayan ref anything in the future, shouldn't do that, thankfully. Blubbly went for the Bortle. It was Wisp and Brainstocks, okay. Yeah, and Blubbly's deathless, right? So while AKDRER has 2 deaths, right, we also know AKDRER wanted to get tilted on occasion, right? Just lost a bottle as well when opening up the Void Cradle to get the shrimp. There's a Ben's Raincoat and a large chest near the trench that leads towards the front of the map. And Blubbly tries to do the pot roll as well. Don't want to die from that. And it's okay. I think there's another pot roll potential down the line. Tries to go for a quick slide and just gives up. And shoots the pot, gets the infusion orb from it. Right, dying is really easy to do with this loadout. The first rustic key box, by the way, is a Lepton Daisy. Okay. And there goes the feather for Waterholic. All the racers here are going to be able to have access to both a quail and a feather and some other movement speed options, right? We see Blubbly with both a hoof and an energy drink, or a mocha. The same also for Jodovich. Actually, everyone has. Okay, yeah, everyone has the same amount of movement speed. Except for some people have the quail and feathers, some people don't. There was a bleed dagger somewhere. Jodo found it. That's actually huge. If you get 1 bleed dagger, it's not a big deal, actually, but if you get 2, suddenly you're able to, like, melt down single target enemies pretty quickly, pretty effectively. Able to put it to good use. With the Braincoat? Yeah, I called that out. Come on. Yeah, not only Jodo, but also Water. Water found it second. But Jodo on stage 3 now. This has a Void Seed. I'm trying to see what's inside of it. I see 1 stock, 2 stock. 70 credits still unknown to be have yet to be seen. I think I see a Void Potential. And he's raised. It's just been Void Potential Day, I guess. There's been a lot of them. Not a lot of Polylutes and Plasma Shrimps. Actually, it's been a decent amount of Plasma Shrimp, but I feel like it's almost every single run you just see Giga God Void items left and right. Today it's just been Void Seed, Void Seed, Void Seed, and then you open the Void Seeds and it's like, okay, here, have a Void Crit. Take also a Void Crit. Here's a Needle Tick for your troubles. I heard you liked Tentabobble. Ooh. Rosebuckler picked up for AKDRER. Oh, everyone else has that as well. Okay. I think I'm lagging so hard. It's not even you, it's a funny thing. It's just a little bit on the stream's end. It's kind of choppy from time to time, so I do apologize and bear with me here. Some races are just this way, right? You can only have so much high quality stream quality. Is that possible to say? Some of the refs have worse internet than others, or worse PCs. And while I wish everyone could have perfect quality, it is what it is. I have to work with what I got. They're doing this for free, right? Yeah, all good. As the Ben's Raincoat also found an AKDRER. So he goes ahead and picks that up. That means, I mean, I think I just saw it earlier as Jodo got hit by a Void-touched Golem. Got saved by the Ben's Raincoat there. That Raincoat could help a lot. Clearing out that Void Seed, it's going to be a lot safer. Having some yellow rubber tied around your waist. Or plastic? It's like that sticky plastic stuff the raincoats are made of. Water resistant. Oh, double bleed. Double bleed Jodo. Jodo's got a really good build, also gets a gasoline, has AoE damage, has movement speed, has a watch. Right, there's damage there with that focus crystal as well as oh god, Blubbly taking a lot of hits. Dodges dodges the Lepton Daisy and then gets hit by an oil orb. Death number 1 for Blubbly. Kicks in right there. And suddenly in a little bit more of a worse position. Again, not as bad as AKDRER. AKDRER at 2 deaths still. And is still focusing down. The Doom Strider is running in circles. It's getting hit by those orbs. The orbs kind of deny your circles that you try to run in. Right? A lot of people just say, oh, just run in a circle, you'll be fine. Not against those oil orbs. You also have to jump and kind of like juke them out a bit. The general rule, I would say, and I definitely agree, is yes, run in a circle. But certain things like to kind of get in the way there. That's what we know. And Blubbly looking like about to take death number 2. If we remember back to what Johto did with the rock, hiding behind the rock. Right, just had a lot less enemies with this being so much later now for Blubbly, who activated the TP at like the 16-minute mark. Right, even has a Glacial Beetle Guard. Gets the Lepton proc that time. Only about 30% charge to go. And AKDRER, though. AKDRER activating the TP well after the 16-minute mark. It's going to have a double Doom Strider to deal with. Does have 1 Bleed Dagger, though. So it should be at least a little bit easier. A Void Cradle was inside of the Void Seed. Johto might choose to go back to that later. It's dealing with a few golems right now. And Blubbly's done with the TP. Honestly, well done to Blubbly. Again, didn't take a death there. After the first one, right? Is still on par with Waterholic. Might be a whole stage behind. But Water hasn't activated the TP yet. There's another Plasma Shrimp, by the way. So all the racers, if they have Plasma Shrimp up, are nearly doing double damage. Taking proc coefficients out of the equation, of course. And Imp Overlord is the boss. Which brings in the question of Shatter Spleen. As AKDRER takes some more damage, goes down to 50, goes down to 10, somehow didn't die. Has to run away from these Doom Striders. Ensrenko is found on Blubbly. And oh, there's a Tricorn. There's a Tricorn, and we're thinking about Shatter Spleen. Is there any crit? I don't know. But Jotovich didn't get the Tricorn. And might have a chance of getting it after the TP, but is definitely not getting Shatter Spleen here. Waterholic, meanwhile, is going to be able to activate the TP, is going to be able to get Imp Overlord, is going to be able to shoot Imp Overlord, and will have Shatter Spleen on Commando. Already with 1 Bleed Dagger. Now there is Abandoned or Abyssal Depths as a stage 4, which will grant another chance of being able to get it for Johto if he can find that equipment after the hitting, or after completing the TP. Here we go, that's going to be an instant hit. Let's see what the boss item or normal item is, as there's a lot of lag going on the stream. As 4 yellow exclamation marks pop up. I hope you enjoy those frames. Deathmark. Deathmark was the boss item. Okay. Oh, Blubbly's trying to pot roll. It's trying to get some extra bands. Right, has a vase. A vase I think that Waterholic also had, but opted to take the gun temporarily, is trying to get this pot up, this slope. This is one of the hardest slopes in the game to go up. If I was in a race, I would never try this. Right, very bold and very ambitious on Blubbly's part, but a little bit of a trouble there after losing a whole minute just trying to do that. There's a watch inside the TP bounds. Waterholic picks it up. There's a second bleed on Rally Point? Yes. There's a second, or there's a first bleed on Abandoned Aqueduct, which Jotovich got. Waterholic did not. But I think Waterholic got the 1 bleed here. So while Johto doesn't have Shatter Spleen, at least has that double bleed overall. And it's going to get the second Plasma Shrimp. As AKDRER, as the stream continues to lag a little bit, gets death number 3. Right, AKDRER, who I'm pretty sure needs to get in 3rd place for this race. Blubbly already eliminated from contention, could at the very least try to play spoiler here. Could try to get in third place in this loadout and maybe in the race overall. Would be able to pull it off. Would be able to pull off an upset there. And this is the perfect chance for Blubbly to do it. Has the vase, only has 1 death. Is done with stage 2. Is going to move on. Right, still needs to finish within 40 minutes of H0 and Waterholic, but definitely doable. As Blubbly is the only person going for the blue portal strat. We already saw Blubbly go through it 1 time. I believe it was Brainstalks and Will-O-Wisp. And Blubbly's out. Oh, there's a third bleed. There's a third bleed on Rally Point. It's inside one of the shipping crates. If Waterholic finds that, he is chilling. As if he wasn't already. But he chose to take a PSG, or a question mark, my bad, over a rusted key, when there was no rusted key in Waterholic's inventory to begin with. That's a question mark from me, personally. What was the suit? It was Happy Mask and Ice Band. Okay, yeah, you don't really need Ice Band if you're Commando here. Not really going to get much value from that. Blubbly, unfortunately, for taking so long on stage 2, wasn't rewarded by finding the 1 bleed there. Does have a couple sticky bombs? At least. Jodovich getting rid of some medkits. And I like what Blubbly's doing. If you're Blubbly, you want to actually keep pressing forward in those blue portals even more. Right, you've gotten 2 sets of them that haven't been all that good. But if you do it again, right, literally probably nobody has hit a blue portal 3 times, right? No one except for you, if you hit it and go through. And then if it's spare drone parts, that's potentially a drone part that no one else would ever get. H0 no vase? Ooh. Yeah, that's an anime. H0 has no vase with 3 bleed daggers, though, right? Has definitely really good damage aside from not having the Shatter Spleen. There is a chance to get Shatter Spleen here. If H0 gets Shatter Spleen, will have, in my opinion, the best damage overall out of all the other racers. But yeah, again, we don't know what the boss is yet. Gups with good money? Oh yeah. Yeah, the huge thing about this stage, you get Gups, the enemies are easy. It's easy to route and move in circles. AKDRER takes death number 4 just dealing with his Dune Strider. We know that AKDRER struggles with these things in the past. We've seen it happen in a Bandit loadout before. I believe AKDRER is... Oh, as he hits an orb there. Is the only racer here. Right, correct me if I'm wrong. Which I probably am wrong. Yeah, I can actually look it up right now. Has Waterholic won a race yet? No. AKDRER is actually the only racer here to have gotten in first place overall. And I believe AKDRER actually beat Waterholic in that race. Oh, it's Stone Titan? Oh, man. Yeah, it's a rip. You might be able to go through the cave to try and see if there's an imp, but you might just end up getting stuck with a Titanic Knurl. At the very least, maybe you could just leave over at spawn, not pick it up. H0 obviously seeing the true value of Titanic Knurl, picks it up immediately, wants that extra 40 health, and wants that plus 1.6 health per second regen, divided by 2 because of Eclipse 8. I think it's like 1 extra health per second. Waterholic getting a ukulele. Ooh, okay. Gets a uke. Picks up the bison steak. Very important. Did I just see needle tick from someone? Oh, there's a needle tick on stage 4, isn't there? So that could be good. And it's actually incredibly good for Waterholic, who now not only has access to bleed damage, but has needle tick and has death mark, right? So you have needle tick, bleed, gasoline. Is there a 4th debuff? Do we have Chrono Bobble? No, not yet. AKDRER done with the TP now. Finally, killed all the enemies. Is just gonna try and pot roll, try and play it safe. So is going to hope that the rest of the run is Giga Cope and terrible. And Johto, uh-oh. Uh-oh, I don't even know how that happened. But Johto died. And not only a death on Johto, but also a death on Blubbly. Blubbly now at 2 deaths. Blubbly with a ton of enemies on screen. Oh man, was it the overloading imp? Was it the glacial brass contraption? The blazing brass contraption? The GVC and the BBC. Did they come to take Johto's soul? No, they're dead. But Johto died. And now suddenly everyone has died at least once. Which is really good for Waterholic. Waterholic who was up head-to-head, toe-to-toe with Jotovich here. Despite the 10 placement difference between the two racers. Johto, who needs to do well in this race in order to qualify for the tournament, needed to not die there. And now we'll have a little bit of a steeper slope. A 5-minute steeper slope in order to get into the playoff or tournament. Okay. Stage 3 now, finally for AKDRER. AKDRER, the third one to get here. If we take a look at AKDRER's items, it's kind of hard for me to do that with the reduced HUD. Now we see pretty much all the similar items as everyone else. No one was able to proc bans. Jotovich is now at 4 Needle Take, a really good play there. Gets even more DPS on that. Right, it's not really often in Risk of Rain 2 DLC that you're shooting at the same enemy for more than 25, 30, 40, 50 seconds. So, Needle Tick generally going to get a little bit more damage off than Bleed. It's also indifferent of proc coefficients, where Bleed lasts for shorter periods of time if you do have a proc, or a lower proc. Blubbly's really getting harassed by these enemies. There's so many golems. Blubbly, who hasn't even activated the TP yet, is going to run in here. He's going to find Bleed in this chest, thankfully. Oh my god, Blubbly the last one to find Bleed, I think. Yeah. Yeah, gets that. There is another Bleed in this map. If Blubbly can have double Bleed, it's going to be in a much safer position. It's going to be much better. Waterholic, the first one over to stage 5. And... There's another Void Seed. If there's a Polyloot, it's pretty much go time. Because the amount of procs are going to be insane. You already have one ukulele. Oh, I'm seeing Void Cradles in there. Yo, what up, Smooch? There's an equipment that's not Vase. Johto, who's Vaseless, had to use the gun on a Titan. Uh-oh, we've got a game freeze. At least has that. Has a lot of healing, right? With the Titanic Knurl, with the Gnarled Wood Sprite. Oh, no, death number... Is it death number 3 for Blubbly? Now 2 behind both Johto and Waterholic. But 1 ahead of AKDRER. You don't want to get too far behind, or it might end up in a DNF. Which for Blubbly would spell disaster. Blubbly, who's been doing pretty okay so far in this race. It's going to activate the TP, just realizes, oh no, takes death number 4. And... Hello? Oh man. I fear for Blubbly. Death number 5. I think Blubbly might be death looping. Feels like that it's not really possible. It's just going to stay inside the TP and it's just going to die. A lot. Which is pretty hard to stay motivated after the 5th death kicks in. What counts as a DNF? For racers in this league, if you are 40 minutes behind any racer that finishes a run, then the game, like a referee will come, notify you, and tell you to concede the run. Which would be really sad for Blubbly. Blubbly, who had a pretty good run, pretty good setup here, just was missing 1 bleed item. Really, in order to get a pretty good setup. It's actually dodging somewhat well, right? But is oh man, I'm just playing it really dangerous, playing it real risky here. Sometimes you kind of have to, but for that phase round, I mean, if you could just pull that out. Yeah, I feel like isn't really using that too much. Could be. With like 5, 6, 7, 8 enemies just all stacked up on each other. If you pull in some phase rounds, yeah, it's getting it in now. Ooh, gets a little bit of healing from the Lepton. Yeah, there's a let's see. There was the Mending Golem. There was an Overloading Golem. Is there a Glacial Golem as well? I'm not sure, but that's gonna be death number 6. Yeah. Now was that 2 deaths more than AKDRER, but is almost stunned, killing the boss, and actually almost stunned, charging the TP. So that's the silver lining there. As oh my god, there's a laser scope. A laser scope is found right next to a crit printer, and suddenly with a vase, a crit printer, a Shatter Spleen. This is Waterholics 100%. Oh my god. Why don't you go more into it if you're water? Oh my, just all in. Max crit. Jeez. Holy. And then, oh, are you telling me that was from a reroll? Wait, no, that's a printer? There's a printer. No, the recycler's on Johto. Okay. So there's a laser scope printer that you can give up the Ben's Raincoat. It's very rare. You can only get red printers, military grade printers on stage 5 and after. And right next to each other with the crit and the laser scope. You also have a recycler with a couple fuel cells, with 3 fuel cells. So if you're Johto, you can run over with your Ben's Raincoat and actually get a few free rerolls on that laser scope. Maybe try and find head stoppers or something else, and then you can decide after all that if you just want to go for that. But oh my god. Wait, it's not a printer. It was just the item. Okay. Well, silly ol' me. Yeah, I didn't realize that the Raincoat was still there. I'm misreading chat and I'm misreading the game on my part. Yeah, Water's going back. Already done with the TP. Sees the crit print. It knows what must be done. Waterholic has had an insane run, even with that death that ended up happening on, I believe, stage 1, after finishing off the Beetle Queen. Bright has just so much AP rounds there. Maybe might be looking for a... There's 2 crit printers. It was a recycled desk plant with a recycler right next to it. Really? Okay. Oh, what? How did Blubbly even die that time? That wasn't from the Infestor, was it? I don't know. Death number 10 now for Blubbly, not looking too good. As for AKDRER at the 53-minute mark, needs to have things turned around pretty quickly if he wants to be able to finish as well. Really just did not want to deal with the stage 3 TP. And AKDRER is feeling it as well. He's trying to cope it out a little bit more. Right, we'll have 40 minutes to finish after the others. Standing at 4 deaths, though. I think it's about 3 deaths behind. And there's a scrapper on stage 5. Johto found it. Is scrapping away. Waterholic is vasing away. With that extra laser scope, with that Shatter Spleen, I mean, the bleed is just insane. Johto, I don't know how Johto's going to win. Johto needs Waterholic to die. Waterholic somehow printed a green item away when sliding. Not sure what it was. Turned into a Berserker's Pauldron. Oh, it was Regent Scrap. Okay. Yeah, and using all the fuel cells is Waterholic, getting ready for the fight. One of the fastest Mithrix fights we're about to see ever. from Commando. Meanwhile, Johto just kind of printing off some mochas. Not the most confident with speed. Maybe this could be a play, right? Waterholic is still pretty slow. If there is a pizza at all that Water has to deal with, we'll need to have some movement speed for it. Also, Johto doesn't have the vase. Right? It had the wood sprite earlier. So still just looking for something. But everything is going just according to plan for Waterholic. Oh man, imagine if Deathmark was able to be procced here. It's a very rare occurrence that you get the Shatter Spleen with the Needle Tick. And that just, I mean, that's 2 free debuffs right there, and then you've only got to worry about 2. Throwing like a Chrono Bobble, and that's a 3rd, and then sometimes you get like Ice Bands or something else happens. No. Not today, but not that it really matters because Waterholic already almost done with Phase 1. Blubbly making it to Stage 4 finally. Sees a natural spawn Imp Overlord. See, that's all that Johto had to do. All Johto had to do was just wait until about the 30-35 minute mark in game time, or I guess in real time, and then go to Stage 4, use the gun, and then boom, you've got an Imp Overlord. Void crit rerolls in the Needle Tick. Not safe for spaces, sadly. What could have been potentially a Pillar Skip. Johto opting not to reroll the Razor Wire or the Monster Tooth, just wants to be able to hold on to those 2 rerolls. Gets rid of a Crowbar, turns it into more crit. Still has another Void Cradle to do. But doesn't want to lose the watch and picks up the very valuable Bison Steak. Meanwhile, Waterholic, already done with Phase 2. Has 1 phase to go until Phase 4. It's going to be very unlikely that Water will be able to pull off a Phase 4 skip, as AKDRER takes death number 5 after all that time with all these golems, what looks like a golem event on AKDRER's screen. Not that it is, but oh my god, look at that. There's some blind rats. I see 5, 6, 7 golems, and everything suddenly just popping up all at once. What looked like an empty screen is suddenly full of action. Oh my god. Waterholic killing all the ads off, getting ready for pizza time. And Johto got the laser scope. Okay. Got the reroll, got the laser scope. AKDRER's dying left and right. Now at death number 6, only 3 deaths away from getting into an immediate DNF upon completion for Waterholic. Waterholic, who's not dying during the Phase 3 Mithrix fight. Waterholic, who needs to die if you're Jotovich. Jotovich needs something to happen, and needs to happen now. As death number 7 happens for AKDRER, Mithrix is going to be finished off. Does not get the phase round skip, and will now have to do Phase 4. This is the last chance, the last opportunity that Jotovich has, as AKDRER takes death number 8. Now 35 minutes behind everyone else, is just really, really tilted. Through it all, Blubbly also taking a lot of deaths, or a lot of damage, maybe not deaths. Has already taken a lot, though. Phase 4 is happening. Waterholic's getting the items back, though. Beetleguard's getting some shots, and a huge hit. And Mithrix is going to die. That's going to be it. GG for Waterholic, unless there's a death charging the ship, is going to be able to get in first place, and possibly get bonus points, depending on how Jotovich performs. I would say most likely at least gets 1. Right? I feel like if Jotovich had the Shatter Spleen, would have a good chance of denying both points. I would say if Jotovich had the Vase, would definitely have denied points, and maybe even actually won. Well, maybe not that. No Shatter Spleen. Another death for AKDRER here at 84-minute mark. It's going to be in DNF territory, and takes another death while leaving. Just absolutely tilted, not happy with what's going on here. And types in literal hell. If only AKDRER knew how good this loadout could have been. well. I guess he's seeing it now, but the good news is that he is going to be pulled out. Blubbly's going to be pulled out. They will have another chance in Loadout 2 to be able to prove what they're worth, to prove their gamer value. But man, Waterholic, I mean, without that death, would have been barely over 40 minutes, which is a pretty good time for Commando. Oh god, takes a triple hit from that perfected exploder the last second, almost takes a death. Or not takes a death, I was looking at Blubbly who took the death there. How many wings did Blubbly get total? Not too many. I think it's only 13. The quality is reduced for some reason. I can't really read that well. Oh, hey. Come on, Waterholic. Waterholic's like, alright, GG, go next. 44-47 on Waterholic. Wow, okay. So that means... So we'll go ahead and continue this here. 44-47. Can never find this... Okay. So the time to deny bonus points is going to be 49-47 for Jodovic, as Blubbly and AKDRER immediately upon hearing the whistle, AKDRER immediately concedes, and Blubbly will wait for the message as well. Which brings us over to Jodo. So we'll go ahead and move forward a little bit here. It's time to Jodo. It's down to him to see if he can pull off a denial of bonus points. We'll need to do this in order to have an easier chance of taking first place. Jodo's at least going to get second place if he can finish this run within, I believe, 84-47, right? So has plenty of time. Still has 40 minutes to do this. I can afford many deaths if they do happen. Here we go. Bounce. That's a good host skip. Good host skip. You know what's something nice about this league is so many racers, a lot of people who weren't so familiar with this at the start, here at the end of week 7, or midway through week 7 anyway, look at this. Boom. What a gamer. Oh, okay. It's actually going to have to go back down again. Come on, Jodo. You got this. Sprint. Oh, I don't know. I was a little bit underneath. Yeah. It's going to have to go again. It hasn't totally failed it yet. There are a lot of wisps. If Jodo loses the spaces, we'll be in trouble. Oh, that's good. That's perfect. Well done, Jodo. It's going to get in. Yep. Gamer. Gamer alert. There we go. And as it's freezing up a little bit, we will see that the fight will begin. There we go. Now, Jodo, unlike Waterholic, doesn't have Shatterspleen. Has everything else, though. Has crit. Has laser scope. Also has the safer spaces. I don't think Waterholic had that. So the odds that Jodovic is going to die is pretty low. Is that 48-15, right? Wasted another like 30 or so seconds during the host skip from an extra few bounces. It's probably not going to be able to deny one bonus point, but I think a double denial is possible. We'll actually go ahead and get that time up there now. As that's going to be a 54-47 for Jodovic. He does this fight deathless. Very easily going to be doable, right? I can see Mithrix only going back to the center maybe 2 more times, right? That being the first one. He's also using the Gorag's Opus to get extra DPS in there. a lot more attack speed. Is there any Warhorn in there as well? No. No Warhorn. Here we go. And might be able to do it. Oh, Mithrix levels up and goes up. Now, damn. Thanks a lot, level up mechanic. Thanks for nothing. Get out of here. Alright, phase 2 Mithrix. Jodovic down to about 4 minutes to be able to finish out the fight. Goes up to the bridge. It's a technique that a lot of people have adopted as of late. The Wisps will not go above the bridge line for some reason. If you're on the other pillars, they will. But otherwise, they'll just kind of like stay below or start hugging it. Which is actually insane. And I mean, even without the Shatter's Blade, look how fast this is going for phase 2. It's taking about 1 needle tick proc. Not even. I don't even think it's the needle tick that's killing him. It's the laser scope. It's the laser scope Giga Crit. Look at that. And then the needle tick sometimes kicks in if it has to, and boom. It's another 50% of the damage. Is this the last race for the today? Jess, after this loadout, we still have part 2. So we still got a little bit more to go. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be Mercenary. And actually, we might have more if there is a tiebreaker. Which there could be. I am not sure. Yeah, I mean, Jodo definitely has enough damage to do this. Is it about 50 minutes, 50 seconds? Has 3 minutes to get to the ship. Maybe even a little bit more because of the end time removal. Oh. Save your spaces, there you go. And here we go. Phase 3 pizza time. Loses spaces, loses opal. Nope, space is back up. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now you gotta be careful. You gotta try and dodge what you can. And there we go. Those exploders are constantly shooting. And the good news is the Beetle Guard was drawing most of the aggro on them the whole time. Right, Jodo wasn't able to get a drone. But it has that. If it wasn't for that Beetle Guard, those exploders, that golem would have been right on Jodo the whole time. Could have taken a few hits. Could have scared him into eating pizza. I think that might have been a slice right there. Oh god, definitely a slice there, though. Thankfully, Ben's raincoat not reducing the movement speed, but cannot afford to take any more hits or will die. Oh, jeez. Losing the watch is gonna get Mithrix. Phase 4 done. Or Phase 3 done. Now, if you're Jodo right now, you want to walk in a pillar for like 1 frame, and then you walk out, and then you're invincible once you get spaces back. But that's fine. You don't have to do that. Look out for the other Beetle Guard. Oh, what a slam. Mithrix is going to go for a slam of his own now. That Beetle Guard is just gaming. It's gotten like 5 hits on Mithrix. Oh, and gets sundered up into the sky. And that's going to be it. Jodo's going to be done. Jodo's going to be able to get to the ship. And Jodo is going to not only get in 2nd place, but deny double bonus points. I should probably say time to deny double. Because, well, at least 1 bonus point for sure on Waterholic. Waterholic, who was able to get the Shatter's Blade on stage 2 or 3, stage 3. I don't know why I always default to saying stage 2. Maybe my brain's just on autopilot after casting. Now let's see here. This is race number 47 out of 49 for me. In terms of loadouts, I've done like 92 loadouts in the past 2 months. My brain's getting fried, man. It's going. My voice is as well. As we stand on the ship here, with 1 minute to go, it's going to be a-okay as long as there is no death. At about 60% here. just has another 20 seconds to go. Well done for Johto. I mean, Johto, who needs this to win, or needs this win so that he can get into the, at least the wildcard round, right? This is a good start. By being able to take down AKDRER and Blubbly, right? Neither of them got in third place either, which means there's not anyone like super far behind or super close. If Johto gets in fourth place, there is still a good chance that he at least gets in third here, which I think might be maybe enough. At least needs third up for sure, but I think might be able to squeak in with that. Second place, I'm pretty sure, is well beyond secure, which Johto is clearly in position of right now. Well done, Johto. We'll go ahead and hand out points, and also well done, Waterholic. Coming in, getting a bonus. Well played. All right. Mercenary time. Blinding Assault time. Rising Thunder isn't the worst. We'll see. But we've got Mercenary here in Loadout 2. As you can tell, this was recorded during post-devotion update. As you can take a look down at the bottom right over at Jodovich. I'll actually just go ahead and zoom in on that. I know I don't do that much here anymore outside of the highlights, but look at that. Looks like a missing texture with the Skin Tuner mod. It's got like the purple and black checkers. That's cool nonetheless. We got a new skin to work with. In vanilla, Mercenary has a special treatment. Apparently there's going to be some other skins too. They're making an iguana skin for AKDRER. It's kind of weird. I guess if you want to be an invasive iguana in the southern United States, fulfill your fantasies of doing that, there you go. There's an energy drink printer here for these racers on stage 1, being at Titanic Plains. Also a mountain shrine. AKDRER's looking at it. Wants to... Oh, don't do it. Don't do it, AKDRER. You just had a really rough race. He's building confidence right now. We'll see what happens. Blubbly's stream is still, like, really blurry. I'm not sure if Mayan ever addressed it. Sometimes you have to, like, reload those in. Mayan, if you're here or watching this, I want to take a look at that in the future. Maybe it's because it's on 480p. I don't know. I'll just assume that's the case. There's another laser scope. Are you kidding me? Was that from the large chest? I'm not sure. I wasn't looking at Johto's screen, but we have a laser scope as the first item for Jodovich. Johto, who got in second place in the first loadout. Hopefully the other racers find that. I'm assuming that was in the large chest in the center of the map. Yeah, there it is, as Blubbly gets it as well. So any crit damage they find isn't going to deal double damage. It will deal triple damage. Nice. Other items of interest, as AKDRER finds it as well. The only person not to have found it was Waterholic, but Waterholic has safer spaces, which is really good, and especially good if you don't have Eviscerate. Right, Eviscerate, you use your safer spaces, and you just go into an enemy, and you immediately lose it. Not the case here. So a lot of interesting things, safer spaces. There's a speed printer. There was a slug that Blubbly got rid of. Not the most ideal item to remove, but movement speed is movement speed. And a loadout like this, a survivor like this, Mercenary, right? Sometimes that's what you gotta do. Oh, never mind, there's healing. There is an equipment barrel that gives Gnarled Wood Sprite. You have safer spaces. You have Laser Scope. And it's Wandering Vagrant as a Stage 1 TP boss. Hopefully none of the racers try booping the boss. It's next to impossible to pull off a boop. Right, when you use a shift to try and slam an enemy to its death, Blinding Assault has much less power behind it. Focus Assault needs no items, can just immediately do it. Yeah, Johto is even actually doing the correct technique on it as well. It's just, again, just really struggling, really trying to hyper-focus on the boop itself. And as a result, is out in the open, needs to hide, needs to run away, but there's a lot of wisps. is down to 12 health now. Is going to have to run away and rely on the slug. You don't want to... Oh, well, there's the orbs. Man, that was a snipe. That was a snipe on Johto, and Johto now feeling confident, thinking, okay, well, since I just died, now I have to use my invincibility to try and get a hit off and get a kill, but no. Instead, just ends in death number 2. The Vagrant's still alive. We might see this happen again. Are we up for round 3? No, Johto's learned his lesson. And it is another XP level up. Johto runs away with Blinding Assault, thankfully had the 3rd shift on it. And here we have Waterholic, also now beginning the Stage 1 TP. Blubbly and AKDRER, meanwhile, not feeling too confident after the last loadout. Opting to take a little bit more time, and honestly, I don't blame him. Johto's now at 3 deaths. Blubbly and AKDRER can take 15 minutes and still be ahead of Johto. Johto with a 3-death penalty in 2nd place. Any hopes, any chances at all of getting in 1st place? Can pretty much wipe those away unless something really tragic happens to the other 2 racers. But with no Wood Sprite, with... Oh god, might even take another death. Gotta land your safer spaces, or not safer spaces, your slicing winds, the other double S word. As another lag spike kicks in, I do apologize for the technical difficulties throughout this race. Is there a way I could do this with my friends? I'm familiar with Mod Manager. I don't know how we would sync our seeds like this. That's all found within the Gauntlet mod. That can be found on the Thunderstore or R2 Modman, whatever you're using. Oh, there's a Mountain Shrine on AKDRER. He did it. Oh no. But yeah, if everyone just uses the same seed, then they should be all set up and good to go. Yeah, no problem. Just look it up. It's made by Risk of Resources. This isn't honestly, this isn't even an official racing league, like sponsored by the creators of the mod. I'm friends with a lot of them, and I have done stuff with them in the past over at Risk of Resources, but I am in no way, shape, or form saying that this league is affiliated with the group. Oh god, that's gonna be death number 1 for AKDRER. Yeah, dies of fall damage. Here we go. Blubbly's gonna find the safer spaces, might get a little bit more confidence. AKDRER's gonna need to try and die a little bit less. He's gonna have to play this really safe, play it kind of slow. If this TP event takes 7 minutes for AKDRER, so be it. You don't want to die, otherwise it goes from taking 7 minutes to taking 12. The boss item, by the way, is shipping request form. Oh, did Blubbly also do the Mountain Shrine? Oh, no. Yes, you've got a laser scope, but you only got 1% crit. Oh, man. There's going to be a lot of deaths up in the bottom left and up in the top right. Vagrants are tough. Mountain Shrines are tough on stage 1. A bit of advice that I was told by Cabbage. One day when I think I was just scrimming on Twitch. It wasn't even like with anyone else or anything. He just hopped over. He said, and I quote, "Mountain Shrines are always bait. Never do them." And, well, while sometimes I feel like there are small circumstances where you can do them and be fine, I think his lesson is a valuable one. Did AKDRER just boop that jellyfish into the other with the... Oh jeez, takes another death. Yeah, that's plus 20 minutes on AKDRER's screen. Let's see, who's going to get more, AKDRER or Blubbly? Well, AKDRER's, yeah, took another death there. It is not a Genesis loop, by the way. It is an additional shipping request form. At least they will have different items from their shipping request forms. Maybe might be better. Maybe there'll be a spare drone parts, or the others won't get. And Blubbly just, or AKDRER just immediately activated TP after that one and said, "I'm so good at making smart choices." So he types that in at the way end. And, well, I think you're so good at it, AKDRER, that you show that you only have 33 minutes on the clock, having gone with a double Mountain Shrine. or a single Mountain Shrine on stage 1. But Blubbly, well, Blubbly's at 39. So at least you played it off a little bit better, and Blubbly might actually die a couple more times on top of that. We'll see. I mean, it does have a repulsion armor plate, so thankfully the Wisp won't do much, but yeah, there's another death there. And at 34 minutes, right, only 10 minutes behind Johto, it could have been a lot worse. Right, Blubbly's at 44, and while everyone is super far behind with at least 3 deaths, Waterholic could just literally AFK on a stage for like 20 minutes and still have a really good chance of winning. Could do whatever he want. He could go to Void Fields and like complete 2 vents and then just leave and still win. That's how much time just got taken away from the 3 of them. Just from that stage 1 TP. Van pickup. Honestly, I don't condone it. It's more damage, it's on Mercenary. Mercenary that struggles with dealing damage. At least there's Rising Thunder for damage, kind of. Rising Thunder and Slicing Winds. That's about it. Can't wait for the next round where Voidfields pauses the timer. Thankfully it doesn't, because of the mod. The timer always goes, even if you're in the shop, the Newt shop, the time will still go. Even if you're going between stages, the time will still go when you're loading. Gold portal, time still goes. Uh-oh. Jodovich just no-clip through the ground. Let's try not to die. You want to try and... Yeah, Johto's... Okay, there you go. Yeah, the right choice here is just to slowly descend. You have safer spaces, Johto. Okay, there you go. Oh, wait until the other racers see Wandering Vagrant 2.0. Uh-oh. It'd be so much easier if they just had Focus Assault. But they've got Blinding. You need like 3 energy drinks before you actually start getting stuff. Before you can land the boop. Waterholic, though, does have a both a watch and a AP round. Ooh, that's going to be drones die. You don't want your drones to die. Want to try and kill that Vagrant. Thankfully, it's not about to level up. There we go. The boss item is a... Wow. Berserker's Pauldron. I'd be bat chesting right now. Void item. It's Void Crit. Whoa! Crazy! Void Crit when you have a laser scope, you know? Hopefully no one picks that up. There you go. And double bubble found for Blubbly. That might help a little bit. That might reduce the amount of deaths that may end up happening during the next TP. But again, you can't die too much more at all. Once Waterholic finishes, every racer that's slower than 40 minutes of his time will be forced to concede. Due to the mercy rule that is in place. Actor sees a damage item, takes a damage item. Honestly, not a bad play. Also had the choice between bleed or repulsion armor plate, but with the needle taken in store and in hand. Might not be too bad. Oh, there's a fireband printer. Oh no, instant regret. Instant regret. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the regret on Johto and on Waterholic. It's building up. Johto's going all in on the bands. Because all the greens suck except for like the fuel cell. Although the shipping request form is kind of good. It's like 3 other items. It's an early game shorm. You want it. But, I mean, what does that give you? I guess, like, you get some more void damage. AoE damage, you know? The void band. You get 1 Rising Thunder. It's like having 4 Rising Thunders in a giant circle. Once every 20 seconds. That actually might be okay. We'll see. Right, the one thing we do know it's definitely better than a fuel cell and a berserker's pauldron, right? We'll see what happens when Actor Blubbly finds it. And if that, oh, there was a blast shower. A blast shower that Blubbly turned down. I mean, you want to have that blast shower eventually. Maybe if you didn't know about the bans. But if you think about it this way, the blast shower as of now already gives you your safer spaces back. As Waterholic types in chat, this run ass. Yeah, well, Waterholic, maybe if you saw the band printer and took the bands and didn't end up with the void band, then you would know that this run pizzazz, right? Oh my god! Did you see that needle tick? I looked down at Johto, I'm like, oh, there's one needle tick, but he's at full health, so he'll live. And then Johto went down to like 2 health, had OSP trigger. And speaking of OSP triggering, maybe not OSP this time, but Actor went down to like 10 health, thankfully didn't die. Thank you, Wood Sprite. Might die here though. Oh, jeez. Does not have Whirlwind, and that's a death for Johto. Death number 4. Died in the midair. 4 void bands aren't going to save you now. Johto, the only racer who's without any equipment, doesn't have the Wood Sprite for additional healing, doesn't have the Blast Shower for additional Void Band procs and additional safer spaces, reloads, right? It's just kind of in Struggle Town. Oh no. Oh, speaking of equipment, though, we do get to see one on Johto. It's a gun. Johto's got a gun, but Johto doesn't want to use the gun, right? You want to hold on to that and get to stage 4. There could be a Molten Perforator, which would be pretty nice if you had 4 Void Bands, and then you have a Molten Perforator on top of that. If you get there and there's a Shatter Spleen, that could be nice if you find some crit. It's at least a tiny bit of crit with your laser scope. Oh, well, you can't even use it anyways. This specific teleporter spot is the only one on all of Sulfur Pools that can give you Hordes of Many. If you have a TP anywhere else, you will not get a Horde of Many. And the reason why is because the boss director will try to, like, see if it can spawn whatever boss it wants. Right, at the start of the stage, it has a card. Right, there's shuffle a deck of cards. There's one card that says, okay, let's say there's Sulfur Pools. One card that says Beetle Queen. One card that says, oh my god, holy void damage. Did you see that? Sorry, I'm getting distracted. One card that says Zai Construct. One card that says Clay Dune Strider. Right, it shuffles those 3 cards and randomly picks one. It's like, okay, I picked the Clay Dune Strider card. And then it tries to, like, place the Clay Dune Strider near the TP, like 5 or 6 times. I don't know how many times before it gives up. But eventually it'll give up. And if it gives up, it's like, okay, well, fine. I'll just take a different card. And the second card that it will take to try to attempt to spawn stuff, it's not just the bosses. It takes literally anything that can spawn on the stage. So it will take a Beetle card. It'll take a Beetle Guard card. It'll take, what else can spawn here? Greater Wisps, a Greater Wisp card, a Clay Templar card, right? Everything. And it'll also take, you know, Beetle Queen and Zai Construct and everything else. Everything else except for the boss that it tried spawning. And it'll take that card and it'll see, hey, can I spawn, do I have, you know, can I afford this? Right, maybe if you're on Sunner Grove and it can't spawn something, I mean, that actually can't even happen. But it would try to spawn a Scavenger and then it would be like, wait, I don't have 2,000 credits. Right, but it could also take something like a Beetle and be like, okay, can I spawn it? And usually, you know, the reason why you don't see Beetle Horde of Many is because Beetles only cost, I think, 8 Director credits. And the most that anything can spawn in one wave is you can get, I believe, 5 enemies. So if it's 5 elites, an elite costs 6 times the normal amount, which I think 6 beetles would be like 248. Right? The lowest the TP's boss can have, I believe, is 600. So that's why you never see Beetle Horde of Many. One time I had a Shungai event in this TP spot, and the TP decided not to spawn a boss, not even a Horde of Many. I'm assuming what would happen there, Sith, would be it tries to do that, but if you have a family event, then your cards are limited, right? It's either Alpha Constructs or it's Xi Constructs, and Alpha Constructs don't really have a high credit value, right? At this point, maybe the Director probably has like 1,000, 1,100, maybe up to like 1,400 Director credits, and if it can't spawn the Xi Construct inside that TP spot underground, it'll be like, oh, I can't spawn the Xi Construct. Well, I can't also spawn the Alpha Construct, so I guess I'll just do nothing. So that's probably what happened to you. And I guess in a way you kind of got robbed, but you also just got a little bit of a grace period. It's very interesting how the Director works in this game. At some point, I want to make like a series of videos on it. I know I've been really busy with daily uploads on the hosting league. I'm thinking about doing something towards that later on in the coming weeks. Blubbly, by the way, just activating the stage 2 TP. It says 54 minutes in game. The actual time is actually only about 20 minutes, though. Only 20 minutes, surprisingly enough, as death number 8 comes in for Blubbly. Hasn't been much time at all. Waterholic also with the gun. Hasn't activated the TP. Jodo, meanwhile, has done the TP. Held on to the gun the whole time. He's going to have to use the slug to slowly heal up so that he can have enough to open up a Void Cradle. Oh, here comes Vagrants. Blubbly tries to dash. Oh, save the spaces, saves the day. Nice. Void Sent Flame. Okay. That's some crowd control-ish that'll help on stage 5 and stage 4. And Safer Spaces, which you already have. AKDRER also getting the Safer Spaces during the same frame. Waterholic now on those Void Cradles as well. Everyone getting the Void Cradles at the same time. As 3 of the 4 racers kind of sync up for a moment. And now we're going to see AKDRER activate the TP, and it's going to get Mending Beetleguard, Horde of Many. Oh, AKDRER going to get the Fireband Printer. That's interesting. The only racer to have found that Fireband Printer was Jodo, who already had the Void Bands. Oh, there's a red. There's a red. It's Afterburner. Whoa, crazy. You get a hard light Afterburner with Blinding Assault. I guess he can move faster though. And if Waterholic doesn't go for the Chant Shrine, which Chant Shrines are hard to go for, and I believe that was more than one hit into that shrine, right? So a lot of racers probably aren't gonna go. Oh no. I think Waterholic couldn't afford it. Waterholic couldn't afford the Beetleguard Horde of Many. And is raging in chat, right? Activated the teleport later than the other racers. The other racers, well, they just have Beetleguards. But Beetleguards, I think, cost... Let me go ahead and take a look at this right now while this is going on. Beetleguards cost... let's see, Director or 2. Let's see. Monsters. I can't Directors. Hopefully I'm not missing too much. Scene Director, Monsters, okay. Beetleguard. Beetleguards cost 40. Put a comparison, Clay Templars cost 3 times more. So yeah, did not have enough money for Beetleguard Horde of Many at that point, in that moment. Gets Blazing Clay Templar instead. Right, took card number 2 after trying whatever the first card was, whether it was a Xi Construct or a Beetle Queen or who knows what it was. We'll never know. The second card, though, was Beetleguard, which I couldn't afford on Waterholic. Waterholic now having to deal with Clay Templars. This could be a problem. This could be the only chance that Jodovich has to be able to try and make a comeback here. It's going to need to have Waterholic die several times, but Water is just going to be slowly whittling away at a distance with Slicing Winds. You know, what's really unfortunate is Blubbly is going to have to deal with this as well. Wait, there was a Royal Capacitor. Okay. Yeah, that's huge. Picks that up over the gun, was maybe thinking about using the gun and then moving on with the Royal Capacitor. Now you have to make a choice if you're Waterholic, which one you want to keep moving forward. If you want to have damage, or if you want to have a chance of dealing damage. But it could be a lot of damage. And you can just see as Jodovich goes through the same brass contraption like 8 times with Blinding Assault and does 0 damage. There's a bleed printer. And I'm going to be completely honest, you want to go into the bleed printer. You have needle tick, you can build up high amounts of needle tick. Maybe you loot around the stage for a little bit, but that's the solution right there, as Blubbly's going to take not a death. Easy. And Waterholic doesn't die either. So the only chance that Waterholic had to die didn't happen. Oh, Mountain Shrine? Oh, I know what he's thinking. Now, you need to have 45 minutes on the clock if you want to have Overloading Worm. A Mountain Shrine on Abyssal Depths, Overloading Worms, I believe, cost 4,000 Director credits. Pretty expensive. That only happens at 45 minutes in an Eclipse run, or Monsoon run for that matter. So, I guess you can have a chance. Maybe the idea is, if you're Johto, as Blubbly takes step number 9 or 10, yeah, you get more Magma Worms. Hopefully that item didn't go through the ground. Johto was very rash and made a quick choice. That... No, he immediately picks it up. Gets a Molten Perforator. I guess this may be feeling invincible with all the Blinding Assaults. Honestly, don't blame him. Kind of sucks you don't really get the charge back for the other ones if you're using Blinding Assault. Yeah, thankfully it didn't get like Stone Titan, like in the first loadout. Yeah, double mountain would be needed for overloading, but thankfully it didn't have. There is another problem with Magma Worms, and it's this really weird spot. As Chrono bobbles the. Oh, there's another Molten Perforator that you get from Mountain Shrine. Okay, we'll see what happens. Actors activating Stage 4 TP might just end up only getting a Chrono Bobble. Right, Actor already kind of burned from the Mountain Shrine on stage 1. Waterholic finding the Afterburner, by the way. Yeah, Johto has double Murph, which could be good. But what you want to have happen, if you're Johto, is you want to have Waterholic, who's, I believe, is just going to go with the gun. And we'll have single Murph if this Magma Worm doesn't drop Perforator as its default item. Yeah, Blubbly just in a death loop at this point. Since Hell just really hasn't had a very fun time. Was hoping to maybe be able to play Spoiler towards Actor here, but what isn't looking like is going to be the case here. Actor doing a little bit better now, having gone through all of the problems of stage 1. At 5 deaths, but still definitely able to have a chance of being able to finish this loadout. And it's just Chrono Bobble. It is just Chrono Bobble. So yeah, that means, I mean, if Waterholic does or doesn't do Mountain Shrine. Syringe is picked up. Yeah, Water kept gun. Didn't want the Royal Capacitor. And, okay, if I am any of these racers right now, I see a Bleed Printer, I have Needle Tick. Wait, does Waterholic have Needle Tick? No! No, Water doesn't! Man, Johto's build is looking so good. If maybe not for losing the double watch and having 3 deaths right now, but having all those Void Bands, having Molten Perforators that could come out of those, potentially. If not, at least the Void Band able to hold the enemies in place to be able to synergize with the Void Band. Has the Void Seed here. Jodo already cleared the Void Seal. Well, no, it's been on it for a while. Has it cleared now? Hopefully it's not just a bunch of stocks. There's one adaptive, or a Void Potential, which means only down to 60 credits. I saw at least one stock that brings it down to 45. There might maybe be like one Void item tops. Legendary chest. Oh, wow. Huge value. Happy Mask. Let's get some smiles in there. There we go. There's a gasoline on Blubbly. Blubbly still hasn't activated the teleport. And honestly, I mean, if I was Blubbly and I knew it was coming, I would be in the same spot. I would be terrified. That Sommering actually might come in handy. We'll see. There's 2 Void Seeds on stage 5? Oh, wow. AKDRER's already on stage 5. Okay. Yeah, AKDRER already did the TP. We know that. Did either Racer go for Needle Tick? No. Wait, AKDRER has 4. Maybe AKDRER did? I wasn't paying attention. Yep, here's Blazing Clay Templar. If you can't read that well, I believe Blubbly is currently at 14 deaths. Feel free to type in chat how much you think we'll be at the end. And... oh, there's wings. There was wings and credit card. Jodo goes for wings. Even though with the triple... blinding assault, personally I would go for something else. Maybe Jodo just prefers the wing movement a little bit more. Okay. Trying to collect an understanding of what's going on here. Oh, Waterholic went for stickies. There was a sticky bomb printer. Water has 5 of them. Got jailered for a second there. Could have been really bad. Instead is looking pretty good as the jailer's gonna die. The Void Seed's gonna be cleared, and well, Jodo's gonna find, or Waterholic's gonna find that there isn't really much of anything in there. Sentient Meat Hook on Jodo. Huge. Massive. Oh, there's a Hopu Feather from the potential. Okay. You get an extra jump. Not the worst. There's a large chest as well for AKDRER. AKDRER doesn't know what's inside there, but wants the money for it. AKDRER will eventually learn that it is a Sentient Meat Hook, which would be pretty good for clearing the stage 5 TP. Blubbly had a naturally spawning Clay Templar, or Clay Dunestrider. I don't know if you saw it. Blubbly now has a Mired Urn. That's one way of getting some value out of that. Jodo dealing with the stage 5 TP, doing pretty good so far. When you have Blinding Assault with Hardlight Afterburner, one kind of small nice thing about it is that you have pretty much full uptime. What are the crit levels for all these racers right now? Has there been any like Harvester Sides or any Predatory Instincts? Any like normal crit class either? Or has this laser scope just been this tease this whole time? There is a Harvester Scythe. It's on AKDRER. Okay, so a little bit there as Jodo actually gets the Grandparent Bull Rugs, but it doesn't really matter because it immediately dies afterwards. Left on Daisy is the item from the TP. Can't get Void Touch from Grandparent Son? I don't think so. I've never really been hit by it. I don't think it has a proc coefficient. Guess the right question to ask would be, can you have ATGs fly out of Grandparent's Son? Can you imagine that? You're playing Artifact of Evolution. They have ATG, and just all the enemies on screen just start getting procced by everything. ATGs start flying out. Sticky bomb noise you can just hear like 5,000 times. Bleed starts building up. Ugh. Truly Armageddon, yeah. Now, let's see. Overloading Stone Titan? Crisis Vanguard. Mountain Shrine. Oh my god. You know what happened on Waterholic? Okay, so this is really interesting. So yeah, Waterholic could not, with one Mountain Shrine, get... Oh, it was a double mountain. I'd have to do my get out my calculator. I'm not sure if it was too soon, even then. But overloading Stone Titan, there is a Molten Perforator on Waterholic, but there's this really weird territory where Magma Worms will stop spawning in, because again, we were talking earlier, only 5 enemies can spawn at max per wave. If a 6th enemy tries to spawn in and instead condenses it all into one enemy and upgrades the elite tier. Magma Worms and Overloading Worms, they don't have overloading or elite tiers, right? They just are what they are. 2 different enemies entirely. Though it's kind of funny that nah, never mind. But what ends up happening is, yeah, after, let's see, a Magma Worm costs 800 credits. 800 times 6, 4,800 credits. Right, anywhere over 4,800 credits, right, it'll start trying to spawn in that 6th worm, and then instead just gives up and tries something else. But then you also need more than 4,000 to get Overloading Worm. So there's this tiny little sweet spot between 4,000 and 4,800, where you kind of want to be at on stage 4. If you want to try and get either or Worm. Otherwise, you might end up where water is, and, well, you get Overloading Stone Titan. And out of all racers, an unlikely situation has come up. Something that I don't think many people were really thinking of. AKDRER is the first one on the moon. Is trying to pillar skip upwards? I think you can just with the Rising Thunder. Yeah, slowly moving up, I think. I can't tell. I feel like AKDRER's just been in the same spot. Maybe might be going up by like an inch. If your AKDRER, yeah, it's definitely moving up. A resting spot would be really good, but this is working. I think it's because of the backup mag. He's able to have multiple M2s at the ready. Yeah, there you go. Huge. But also kind of terrifying for AKDRER is Jodovic, who's sneaking up. Got a Void Seed done, and is now taking the items. Blubbly as a... want to know, is at 158-ish minutes? He's just trying to race to the finish at this point. Doesn't really care about dying. Having, well, 20-some deaths, right? He's just trying to at least finish to qualify and hope that some of the other racers DNF. Just not looking likely with AKDRER being on stage 5 or stage 6. Did Jodo already do TP? Yes. Jodo is done. And AKDRER is on the Mithrix fight. Waterholic thankfully did not die during the Overloading Stone Titan incident. Right. Definitely not a fun boss setup to be up against. Those beams do a lot of damage, but plays it smart, plays it safe, charges TP to 99%, then goes for it. And gets, holy moly, gets a, a Titanic Knurl. Let's go. Easy. And 2 Chrono Baubles off the double Mountain Shrine. That could have been a charged Perforator. But no. Johto on his way over to the Mithrix fight has 4 deaths. Right, so has a whole 20 minutes of being behind Waterholic. AKDRER, meanwhile, if he can finish 5 minutes before Johto, or if Johto dies once more and AKDRER finishes real time, AKDRER will actually be able to get ahead of Johto. And either get in second, might get in first for this loadout. Right, did have the DNF in the first loadout, so Johto has that tiebreaker if it comes down to third place versus second. Waterholic, assuming he does not DNF, is pretty much guaranteed at least to get 3rd place, with Blubbly essentially having given up at 175 minutes. Just having a good time enjoying the Lazarus Wings animation. Ooh, Water's going for bleed. This is something I wanted to see happen on some of the other racers like Johto and AKDRER, and I believe AKDRER does this a little bit. Personally, I would go even further and like get rid of the Topaz Brooch. I would get rid of yeah, 5 bleed, maybe not. Go for too much. Yeah, get rid of the Brooch and maybe the Elixir, and that's about it. We don't want to lose those 2 watches. But a lot of Needle Tick if you had it. Oh, there was a Scorpion? Oh, are you kidding me? Really? None of the other racers found that. That was right next to the Void Seed. And there's Deathmark. Yeah, you've got bleed. You've got fire damage from your Perforators. You've got Scorpion. Is there Chrono Bobble? Yes, there's 2. Waterholic can do Deathmark. There you go. I'm honestly shocked. Well, Blubbly using the double shipping request form gets a gasoline. I think there was 2 white items in there instead of 2 white items. It's almost like getting the extra shipment forms doesn't really do too much early on. But then you get like the artifact of devotion, and then your Marines have like 5,000 of them, and then it's nothing but reds. It's kind of hard to find out the fine line of that item. Oh man, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. My voice is really starting to go. It's been an intense day. You're in the hosting league. As AKDRER, yeah, just really doesn't have that much damage. He's trying to find a way to finish off Mithrix. Gets a couple Molten Perforator procs. So it's going to be getting a lot more of those now. That Mithrix is standing still. Even able to proc a little bit of Deathmark in there. Okay. Ooh, almost gets hit by the shockwave on AKDRER. But Waterholic here. I mean, again, insta-Deathmark guaranteed on everything. It's going to annihilate the Grandparent because of Molten Perforator. And gets his very happy, sentimental Lepton Daisy. How are other 2 racers doing over on Mithrix? Well, they're about halfway done. Johto's just about caught up to AKDRER at this point. Johto, who has a little bit less Needle Tick, but has the 5 Void Bands, has the extra Molten Perforator, has... that's about it, isn't it? Is there any Focus Crystals, any AP rounds? Oh wait, no, Johto does have an AP round. So it's a 20% bonus damage buff on Johto. On top of the void band damage, you can kind of see it happening every 20 seconds whenever it procs. If Johto had that blast shower on stage 2, had he found it, I feel like would be in a lot more of a happy spot. Might even be done with the run by now. Oh man, what a drag. This is the one thing you don't want to have happen. If you have a long run, you have to have a lot of good items to make up for it. And these racers here, I mean, they're at the Mithrix fight. They got in here at like the 40-minute mark. But they don't have 40-minute damage. Mercenary, again, one of the harder survivors to really get DPS on. Have to make every exposed count. Have to hit as many shots as you can. Use the exposed tech where possible. Make sure your slicing winds are actually slicing stuff and not just doing nothing. AKDRER also doesn't have the hard light afterburner, I guess, which means less dashes, which means less safe damage. But is kind of keeping up with Johto a little bit. I feel like if there's any racer here who has good damage at this point, it's going to be Waterholic. Waterholic even has a little bit of a proc chain on top of the death mark. And oh my god, Johto just took a death. Wait, Johto took 2 deaths? How was AKDRER 10 or 5 minutes ahead? I thought it was the other way around, with Johto being 5 ahead, but now AKDRER actually taking the lead over Johto. Has 5 minutes to be able to finish the fight, assuming no deaths happen. We'll see what happens in phase 2. Actually, something I fear. Something else they have to think about is Waterholic. If Waterholic finishes before they're even done with phase 4. Oh my god, did you see that? Did you see that? Oh no, AKDRER just landed right with Mithrix. He thought he was Mithrix for a bit. Said, alright, I know how to do this whole slamming up and landing thing. Let me go ahead and do it. And takes a death and is really playing with fire with a shockwave. But you gotta keep in mind, AKDRER is probably pretty tilted alongside Johto with all the deaths already in play. AKDRER is 4 seconds behind in real time due to pauses or starting a slightly bit later than Johto. Not that I'll make too much of a difference here in the moment, but oh man. Looks like Johto's going to be the first one done with phase 1. But just barely. Even with all the extra damage, you can definitely tell AKDRER's being a lot more aggressive than Johto, right? With a lot less damage items. The only thing that AKDRER really has over Johto is the extra... what is it? 2 needle tick? That's about it. Blubbly's activating the TP. Gets Magma Worm. Only 1 Mountain Shrine. Okay. So we'll get a Chrono Bobble and a Molten Perforator after taking a few deaths there. Oh my god. There are so many worms on Blubbly's screen. It looks like a bowl of pasta. You just take a look at the screen down in the bottom left. It looks like something you'd see in like one of those 90s commercials. Or an advertisement of something. I don't know what. Pizza, spaghetti, it's just all reds and yellows. Gotta love the bloom in that cave. Old Pizza Hut buffet? Yeah. It's making me hungry. So we get a little bit of a lag spike. I do apologize again for the technical difficulties throughout this race. We're trying here. But again, Waterholic is in first place by 2 points. If Johto gets in second and Water... I mean, Water's not going to DNF though, right? Still, Water Johto could finish right now, and Waterholic would still have 70 minutes to finish the run. Oh, as things freeze up a little bit. And I highly doubt that Blubbly, standing at almost 4 hours now, is going to be able to get ahead of that time. Blubbly throws in a few ahoys. Love to see it. Take some more deaths. Like, alright, let me check my phone real quick. How much longer do I gotta be here for? Oh, man. And honestly, I mean, I've been there before. At 4 hours into the run, right, it's the final loadout here in the hosting league for Blubbly, was hoping maybe something would happen. But after the Wandering Vagrant incident of Stage 1, it just didn't happen. And now... Oh, Johto took another death. Johto's now 5 minutes behind again. At 84 minutes, if Johto takes one more death, and Waterholic finds a way to finish before Johto, it's DNF. And then if AKDRER gets in second place and finishes in time, well then AKDRER doesn't DNF. But I don't think Johto died 6 times in his first loadout, so maybe... it's a bit far-fetched. I think AKDRER's going to have to get in first place somehow at 80 deaths. But with a DML and Scorpion and constant deathmark procs, I think it's almost guaranteed that Waterholic takes this win. The big thing that we're looking at right now is AKDRER versus Jotovich, as Johto takes yet another death. Yeah, and Waterholic, loses a bottle. Thankfully doesn't lose his watches. Yeah, Johto's just farming +5s at this point. Which, I mean, in some ways you kind of do gotta go fast, but there are ways of going fast without Kamikaze. Johto's probably thinking, man, I botched it. I had 2 points. I was doing so good. Here I am. I hate Mercenary. Why is it always Blinding Assault? Who is paying GamerHost $5,000 for Blinding Assault to show up every single time I race? 2 1-hour Chimeras come in, as AKDRER takes a death now. AKDRER taking another death now. And now suddenly Johto, at 96 minutes, might still just get in second place. AKDRER's 40 minutes behind, takes the 3rd death. AKDRER's given up. Full tilt. And while Johto's is tilt really high, didn't tilt as much. And because of that, is going to probably more than likely make it through with less deaths, finish the run, get in second place, end up with 4 points, get second overall. Right, every raw point counts down towards the bottom of the leaderboard. At the 24th seed right now, Johto is looking really good for qualifying for this tournament. All he has to do is kill Mithrix. And try not to die too much in the process. They might both DNF because Waterholic is zooming. I don't think so. I think Johto, all Johto has to do is kill a little bit more of Phase 3 Mithrix, and then has to do Phase 4. Right, Waterholic still has to do Evolve Phase 3. AKDRER is the one I fear. AKDRER who needs to at least get in 3rd place here. Right, AKDRER needs 3rd place, but if he loses both loadouts, ties for 4th. Right, there is no 3rd place if multiple people get double DNFs. And because of that, here we go. Pizza begins, but Pizza's also beginning for Waterholic as Johto's taking more deaths. So Pizza begins for Johto. Oh, huge hits. And Mithrix is on to Phase 4. Okay, so all Johto has to do is kill Phase 4 before Water's done charging. will get in second place for the loadout. And that'll be that. AKDRER's in deep trouble, though. Water's moving so fast. And AKDRER just taking so many deaths here. Right, will immediately DNF as soon as that ship is charged. Needs to go fast, needs to kill Phase 4 Mithrix before that. But Waterholic is doing a ton of damage, and if you're AKDRER at this point, I mean, it's just full on. It's full on charge. Deaths don't even matter to AKDRER at this point. AKDRER needs this to have any chance of making the postseason. Blubbly, meanwhile, having a blast on stage 5. Found a DML. Is saying hello to the void touched bell. Waterholic actually finishing the oh no, it gets phase 4. Which AKDRER needs to happen. AKDRER only halfway done with phase 3. Needs to hope that Waterholic has a slow phase 4. It's probably not going to be the case. Already getting back 3 items. Is Water... Did Water do the tech? No, it did not do the tech. It's not invincible. And, I mean, you could just see the lack of damage items on AKDRER at this point. Oh, man. Don't you just love Mercenary runs? Where you get to Mithrix and the Mithrix fight takes like 45 minutes. I feel like that's every time I play him. And yes, a lot of people speak highly of Merc and talk about Expose and this and that, but oh my god, some days I really don't like playing him. You can talk all about all the upsides of Mercenary and all the movement and the intangibility. It's just so frustrating to play him at times, and I think a lot of the racers here are feeling that right about now. Even Waterholic, who got through this run deathless. Or the only death from Waterholic all race today has been from Stage 1 Beetle Queen. So what a comeback for Water. Water showed up, maybe didn't show up ready to game, but ended up so. I think, okay, with Johto finishing up, you actually got to be careful if you're AKDRER. 105, 145. Yeah, AKDRER's already DNF. It doesn't matter about Waterholic charging the ship. That's a DNF for AKDRER. As the just put it in temporarily, but time to first place is 145 minutes and 42 seconds. We'll go ahead and get Johto off the screen here for just a moment. Have you thought about doing a wildcard tournament with random artifacts or something like that? I personally haven't. I have a few different ideas, though. I might do some like smaller end things after the hosting league. So something along the lines of that, yes. I do know that over at Risk of Resources, they do that about once a month. They'll like throw in an artifact or something of the sort. Waterholic finishing up with a 56-24. By the way, AKDRER immediately conceding after the timeout was even called. Didn't even bother taking a look or waiting to see what the issue was. It could have just been lag, but was very eager to get out of there. And Waterholic finishing off. Let me get a double check on that time. 56-24. 0 deaths. We'll go ahead and hand out those points as... Well, 66-24 was the time to deny. Johto had 10 deaths, which certainly means that is not the case. We'll go ahead and hand out those points to Water as he gets double bonus. Well done, Water. As for Johto, well done for finishing the loadouts. We're hanging on. There you go. GG to the racers. Johto, I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing in the wildcard round. If not, made it up to the 18th. I'll have to take a look at that later. As for AKDRER and Blubbly, AKDRER maybe might make the tournament. I'm not sure. Blubbly, well, it was fun while it lasted. Thanks for playing. I really do appreciate you signing up. So, seriously, thank you. Yeah, rough loadouts overall. All the racers clap it up for them. They had to sit through this. They had to sit through that Commando loadout. They had to sit through this Mercenary loadout. They've earned it. GG.